Hello, Culture Matters podcast. Happy New Year's 2025, Lollapalooza. I can't wait. I am here right now with my co-host for the day, the one and only Mike Calhoun, and some of the most important people in my life, included Brett Grossman, Darwin Roman, Eddy Perez Jr. Oh my God, we got John New coming. Listen. First of all, I gotta say, Brett, you inspire me with your care for me and your consistency. Eddy, my life and our family wouldn't be the same without you. In case I haven't reminded you that. I love your shirt, make men great again. You made a lot of men great again. And Darwin, if it wasn't for you, I don't think I'd know Eddy Perez. So this is like very important that this is a full circle moment for me. And Mike Calhoun, such a big influence along with all of you, but such a big influence on this day, and has started at 5 a.m. with this morning. So kudos to you, brother. Thank you all for coming, Mike. We're going to talk about our words, by the way, from last year, next year, and what we learned. And thanks for coming. It means a lot, Mike. Meet
Yes,
my
sir.
friend.
We ready to rock and roll, gentlemen?
What's happening?
Let's get it. All right, ladies, gentlemen. Actually, just gentlemen on this one, it looks like. We've been rolling since 5 o'clock this morning. Jay called me at 4:45. I didn't answer until 4:47. We were live at 5:01, and we haven't moved since. Matter of fact, I haven't sat down. He tends to sit down most of the time, though. I think standing up is probably just an easier way to do it. We're going to round robin this thing to where we get a little taste of everybody's perspective. What do you do? What's your product, platform, or service? We're going to obviously do the keyword thing. Who was here last year? Which Brett, you were here last year or no?
I was not.
No, okay. So Darwin, you were not either, correct? And then Eddy, unforgettable Eddy, you weren't here either, were you?
I was not.
Okay, so no one has a word from last year. That means, Jay, they get two words. They can make up one for last year and one for no. Kidding. I know how you are. So
I already had one from last year before the podcast. I was like, oh, this is great. This is right. Like,
well, if you had one, then we can share. What was your word from last year?
I was gradual.
Graduate?
Gradual.
Interesting. Okay. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I think that's where you're going. Does everybody have a word for this year? Beautiful. All right, let's get them on the table then. Darwin, what's your word for this year?
Value.
I love this guy already. Podcast's over with. Done. He wins. No. Value. Love it. Eddy, what is your word for 2026?
Atonement.
Say it again.
Atonement.
Dude, I didn't think you could outdo value, but dude, that was so. Tell me your perspective, 30 seconds or less, on atonement, because we could go down a rabbit hole, I think.
We can. I know what it means, but essentially I'll make it quick since you said 30 seconds. I realize the sins of not listening to myself, listening to others too much. So I'm atoning for that to take my organization to the next level. So this is the year of atonement. And the biggest atonement is not listening to myself when I knew better.
Atonement. Good man. Good man. Now, Brett, Mr. Grossman, what is your word for 2026?
Self-actualization. And it's hyphenated, so it's technically one word.
All right, we technically have an overachiever here. He's going to squeeze in multiple words into one word and clarify the classification. I like it. Okay, so tell me a little bit why that word?
Striving to reach my full potential this year, right? Growing into my given purpose and my potential.
Okay. Wow. Very good. Very good. And Darwin, why value?
Darwin, did we lose you?
No, I'm here. It was value not just to others, but also for myself. I feel like there were some opportunities, some relationships where I value the other person more than I value myself, didn't respect my own boundaries. And to be quite honest, paid the price for it 2025, where it was a losing deal for me. And I'm not going to have that anymore in 2026.
Know your value. Know your value. We did a podcast on the word value, Jay Doran and I, mostly because he wouldn't stop asking me what it meant. And then we ended up talking about it for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And being able to be valuable, right? Value able. Okay, gentlemen, just so we all understand each other, let's get on the same page here, down and dirty. What is the product, platform, or service, years of experience, and is there any concise North Star you want to share with us for 2026 that you're shooting for? Eddy, hit it.
I'm a member of the cartel of money, aka the mortgage industry that moves trillions of dollars for residential homes a year. Been in the business going on 24 years, been self-employed on my journey, 21 years of that.
Good man. Good man.
My
Brett.
North Star
Oh, North Star. That's right.
is to live up to my atonement.
Love it. Brett.
Yeah. 17 years independent entrepreneur, 14 of those years in life insurance and financial services, and moonlighting since 2022, dabbling in real estate. More so the wholesaling end of real estate.
Good man. And what your North Star is for 2026?
Just my individual process, like my sense of purpose. Again, it's all going to kind of keep coming back to that purpose and that potential and what I know I'm capable of and what I'll need to do in order to achieve those things day by day.
Okay. Darwin, product, platform, or service, years of experience, and then what's that North Star?
Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, I would say I'm a fellow colleague now, knowing of Brett's background as well, financial services, life insurance, retirement planning, 15 years independent. My North Star with regards to education within my community, I'm Hispanic descent, and the narrative with regards to building legacy and wealth beyond real estate is where I feel my value will come in within my community, being able to lead by example and also lead through education.
Good man. Are you running an education platform now?
So the way we go about with regards to talking about financial services is an educational platform with using fintech, and I believe we'll end up being the Amazon of financial services one day.
Good man. Okay, fantastic. Where are you based, Darwin?
New Jersey.
Eddy, where are you guys coming from?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Dude, hometown, ATL, baby. Brett?
Philly.
Philly. Good, good. All right. Now that we're all brothers and we're in this very united brotherhood, we can get down to brass tacks. Jay is going to ask the hard questions, the ones usually with words over 4 letters. And we're gonna take this down a couple different rabbit holes. The Atonement makes me very curious there. I didn't know if we were going down a ministry side of things. That's a very different word from the words that we heard today. I'm surprised nobody brought up value, because it is the core component of a relationship. I think we're always assessing the value in the relation. What are we bringing to the table? What is the opportunity? Where do they fit in our world? What's the utility? There's a lot that goes into building a relationship and the initial assessment of value. Jay, quite frankly, helped us to form the formula and the algorithm for helping to assess value around a relationship within the board of advisors community. We can talk about that stuff at some other time, but this is going to be a good one, guys. Jay, do you have any on your little checklist there? Do you have any big key questions that you want to kick off with, or do you want me to keep running with this?
Well, one, I think it's fair to share that last year was intensity for me. the theme last year, we did 14 together podcasts, episode 768 to 782. So there was a 15th. I was solo on that first one. Wasn't yet ready to be more than that, right? So, and the year before that, it was like 12 isolated, just back-to-back conversations with me and Eddy. We did a couple days before New Year's Eve, but so thank you all for doing this. And the theme was life can only be understood backwards, but must be lived forwards. This year, it's life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. So my last year's word was intensity because I had to burn myself in my own flame so I could be here with you guys today. 2026, my word is love. And thanks for your respect and honor and love and courage and commitment to our friendships, working relationships, and just in general, camaraderie to show up. So I want to say that my words, this is helping me, this is changing my life. And my question first is, Mike, what was your word last year and what is it this year and why? And then I'll get the psychologist questions out. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, my word last year was Jubilee. The meaning and the semblance there is sometimes you just go through a hell of a lot of shit and you earn the right to hit the reset button and rethink things. I think we're probably all similar ages here. I don't know, Darwin, you look like maybe you either have taken better care of yourself or potentially might be a little bit younger. But giving the opportunity, if you look at some of the Jewish culture, there's every 49 years, there's a year of Jubilee where all the land goes back to the actual family. So even if they had given it up due to a mortgage or sold it off or whatever, it actually goes back so that the families never ever lose their land. It stays in the family, right? So debts are forgiven, and it's a time for reset and celebration, and a time to move forward. And I think you get to that 40, 45 years of age, and you're like, man, I've done so much stuff. What is the best investment of my time in life to where you can be most valuable to your family, to yourself, and not just a customer, but these customers you spend a lot of time with and you put a lot of energy into, what is the highest, it's almost like a piece of land, right? What's the highest and best use of this asset, your life going forward based on everything you've experienced? So how do we celebrate what we've learned and how do we really leverage going forward, right? And this year was a very, very different year for me. Did things I never thought I would actually do, made big decisions that I almost really wasn't that comfortable with, but just decided to do things that forced growth. So going into 2026, I think the word different really represents you have to do things differently. You can't do the same thing that got you to where you are. And it doesn't mean you're always having to do it better. But usually to grow, you have to think a little differently. You have to act a little differently. And you have to be open to insight and wisdom coming from others that, quite frankly, you might not agree with. Working with Jay, it taught me sometimes the clearest optic of yourself are those all around you. They're watching you. Your wife is watching you. My wife tells me she knows me better than I know myself. She probably does, right? Jay followed me around for a year. When somebody follows you around for a year, they see your shortcomings. They see the gaps, right? And it just makes you think differently when people who actually really care about you give you great feedback. If you're not open to listening to it and to factoring it and to trying some things that would be wildly beneficial for yourself, you're probably not going to be at one mint or as valuable as you can possibly be, right? So, I think if we could chalk up different as something that is leverageable in this call today, we're probably going to find some value. Jay, I think what I would really like to hear too is, what's the vision for Eddy? Not just for 2026, for Brett, for Darwin. We did this exercise at Board of Advisors the Monday. It was a full 2-hour session on thinking through and then articulating our vision for ourselves in a 36 to 48 month time frame. Life is moving faster than ever these days. Where are we in a 36-month window? And then I think it'll help us kind of see what are some of the gaps for each other where we can potentially be valuable to each other.
Beautiful. Any volunteers?
Yeah, I'm happy to go because there was something, there was a lot that Mike that you packaged there and delivered, and one of them that really resonated with me was something that I had recently journaled and asked for, which was more individuals who have a true caring about me as an individual, the growth of Brett, more so than the growth of Brett's insurance business or Brett's real estate business. Somebody who really takes a liking to Brett and then wants to see me grow, but then also give me that constructive criticism. It's delivered in a way that allows me to be so grateful and thankful that I have somebody who's paying enough attention to what I'm doing to want to even have that conversation. I just kind of feel like over the last decade or so, there's been enough people who want to kind of tell me what to do. Right. And maybe even what I just said there, right, Eddy, right? You gave a chuckle, right? And maybe that makes sense for everybody here, that there's always somebody who wants to tell you how to do something because the underlying reason that they're telling you how to do something is because that's the way maybe they do it, or that's the way they want it done, as opposed to trying to help you grow. Right? It just comes from a different place, I guess, is maybe the way to say it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of the difference between, a coach and a consultant. They're a thing, but like really finding a mentor, usually there's a relationship there that is non-transactional where somebody is investing, passing over experience and guidance and wisdom, and sometimes even resources. And then there's another party that admires and is modeling after that other individual. And it's a unique relationship where, like you're saying, somebody actually cares enough to be valuable and take the time out of their day without having to have a transaction pollute the relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Right. There is no really what's in it for them. It's simply, how can I help you grow? How can I make you a little bit better today, or a little bit better in this hour, or even a little bit better in this conversation?
I'll step in next as well. With regards to vision for the year. Thanks for sharing, Brett. That was insightful. It kind of ties in similar to what I'm thinking, in the sense of this year, my vision is to look at my assets and liabilities. And I'm not talking here financially. I'm talking about relationships. Who are those individuals who have been liabilities to me? Who are the individuals that have been assets to me? And how do I tip the scale in my favor? More assets, less liability. I have a saying on my wall about leadership, and it says, if serving is beneath you, then leadership is beyond you. It's servant leadership. And if anything, talking about faith a little bit, I would say the best example is Jesus Christ of servant leadership. My fault, what I did, I feel, going back in 2025, I tried to be a savior and not so much a leader. And unfortunately, saviors get crucified. And there's only one guy that's done that successfully. And we just celebrated his birthday last week, right? So now, going forward, is the value of the vision, rather, assets and liabilities. People are going to be more assets, not liabilities, that are looking to drain me, to be leeches or parasites off of what I'm doing. Or leveraging my social currency without anything in return. Like, I'm done with that. Like, enough of that bullshit. I'm from Jersey. We play different. I don't care how we say, yeah, we're a little rough. No. Enough with the bullshit. So sorry,
Well,
because you know what? Because I got my friends that are pointing out to me, and I think they've been accusing me of being too nice. Maybe it's time to be not nice.
well, if you were building a ball team of any sorts, wouldn't you pick the best players if you wanted to win the game?
Exactly. Yeah. Players that want to
Or if you were
participate.
building a military, wouldn't you pick the best qualified individuals if you wanted to win the war?
Exactly. Non-qualified get kicked back to the rear. The way it is.
Otherwise, they're a liability.
Correct. And in that situation, it's lives lost. People die.
This is life. Eddy,
Wow.
talk to me, Goose.
I can relate it a lot to what Steve said. I have no shortage of people telling me what to do. And that's why I said mine's about atonement. Because the irony is, a lot of the people in my stratosphere around work and my band of brothers from college, if I put all of their successes together, it doesn't even equal me. So that puts me in a different spot, but not from an egotistical, I can't listen, but more of where are they coming from? And what I've learned in the epiphany that I had this year is that people, when they're telling you what to do, something that I think could bring you guys all great value to distinguish what is valuable and what isn't, is people don't really defend their opinions as much as we think. That's why people can have their opinions changed. What they die on the hill for is their identity. So some of the things these people have told you to do, it's because not only it's not how they want you to do it, it's their identity and they want to control you. And that's why I said this is the year that I knew when things were off. Shame on me. Ownership goes to me. I'm the leader. I'm the way majority shareholder. And it's on me to make those decisions. And if they don't like it, they can leave. And I've told them that. And I've told the organization that. And I've told others that. Because like a lot of you guys are saying, I'm at an age, I have a milestone birthday in whatever, 8 months. I don't really want to think about it, but whatever. And
what's that milestone?
The new 40, we'll just call it.
Real quick, everybody say hi to John New. He's new to the group, but not
John, hey.
Culture Matters
Hey, guys.
podcast.
John,
Eddy,
how we doing,
Brett,
buddy?
Darwin, Mike, John New. Eddy, go ahead. Sorry.
So no, I just want to know what the next, because I do plan on making it past 100. I want to know what the next 50 years are. I think this is like a football game about to enter halftime. What are the adjustments I got to make? Because championships are won in the second half, not in the first. But they can set a great tone. And I will say, definitely from a life perspective, not just success in business, but success in relationships and the people that I've been fortunate to have in my life. First 50 years first half has definitely been, I got a big lead. Now the question is, can I go win it all? That's the next question.
And what does your shirt say, Eddy?
Make man great again.
Yeah, man. I like it, dude.
4 out of 5 suicides are male. We've got a problem in America. Nobody's really wanting to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
John, let's just catch up a little bit here. Let everybody know what is the business end of the stick, product, platform, or service, years of experience, and right now we're kind of sharing the North Star. Like, what is the goal? What is the vision for the next 36 months? And if you had a word like that you brought to the table for the year.
From a business perspective or a life perspective?
I would say concentrating down your priority for the year.
Ooh, that's good.
Scale. Put a gun in my head.
So from a business perspective, what are we scaling?
Yep, my software platform, working with DoD, Department of War, and we're working with readiness, and then also my nonprofit, my life's calling. I have crossed that 50 threshold, so I agree, Eddie. I'm gonna be around for the next 80 years. So my life's calling is to help 1 million fellow veterans live healthier lives.
Are you looking for governmental contracts?
On the business side, yes.
All right, cool.
On the
Good. I can,
nonprofit too, yeah.
definitely can help you tremendously there. So let's talk about that. And then from a years of experience in the game here,
With Jay or in the game of business?
just in general in business
Yeah, I got
as an entrepreneur.
yeah, 25 years. I got out 25 years ago of active duty and jumped right in like a dumb infantry guy. I am.
And then what are we shooting for over the next 36
Uh,
months?
milestones, revenue, or
So what's the North Star? What do we want to achieve? We're 30, we snap our fingers, we're 36 months out. What are we achieving?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a documentary about veteran health and wellness. It's never been done. It's for our nation's 250th. I wrote a book on it called 98 Octane and Whole Movement. So that will be done. And then I've been working for 5 years with Department of War and gonna deploy it and get it in the hands of uh, 1 million service members to just help with readiness and what Secretary of War talks about. So
Good man. Good man. That was everything, right? Yeah. Jay, what's on your mind? You woke up there, you lit up.
I like the direct questions, by the way. It's good. It's like I wasn't prepped at all. Jay probably did prep with like a really great laundry list, but I learned to read last year, so I'm getting better at reading.
Oh, I'm just
I'm
making the shit up on the fly. He has no idea what I'm going to ask.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. Well done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Jay,
I'm
what are
just
you
so
thinking?
happy that you guys are getting together. I'm very happy that all of you are meeting.
Where is everyone on planet Earth? Where are you all at right now?
Atlanta.
Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
Philly.
Jersey.
You?
Philly area. I'm on Valley Forge Mountain, so the park here is a slingshot away.
I'm over here.
Where
in
did you
College.
say, Brett?
I'm over here in Collegeville.
Oh, right on. Yeah, you're really close, man. Nice.
Yep.
How about you, Mike?
Tampa Bay area,
Yep.
just south of Clearwater.
Uh-huh.
I feel like we should have brought a bunch of paintball guns and just handed out paintball guns and then said,
Shoot our
break.
trains. Yeah.
I'm curious what you're most proud of, John, in 2025.
Oh, breaking a threshold, my kids, and winning with love. The 3 years in divorces, Jay, and I've seen it switch, and just proud to win with love, man. Like just that's all I'm fucking here for, dude. Just leave a good man for them, but
Wow. Darwin,
And you should connect him to Carl, bro.
I'm trying to connect everybody. Darwin, what are you most proud of for 2025?
On a personal note, so there were a lot of things that didn't go exactly as I planned in 2025.
the law of life. Yeah.
And on during that time, one of the things that I do as a passion, my second year, I'm competing in bodybuilding. So when my life was a complete shit show, I still had a I almost wanted to quit and not complete my training and do that competition. But my coach was like, "No, you're gonna do this." I'm like, "All right." And what I'm proud of is I pushed through.
And Darwin,
And
is that
it's
quit
like,
word? Is that a Marine Corps word? I'm not
it
familiar.
is not a Marine Corps word. That's why he told me not to
That's
do
what
it. Yeah.
it is.
So I said, "Okay, you're
That
right.
was
I can't
funny.
quit." And I pushed through anyway. I ended up I had a delay and I had to push off and doing the competition later on in the summer as opposed to July. Went from July to August. Delayed it 3 weeks. got my shit freaking fixed in my head, kept pushing on, and then ended up going right through the competition, got second place. Was happy about it. Was happy about it that I pushed through and I finished it. That was what I'm happy about. Outside of all the chaos that was going on, so I was proud of that, Jay.
Wow.
What about you, Eddie and Brett?
2025. What am I the most proud of? I think probably the most important one was the evolution of my son. About a year and a half before that, like anything else, he's a teenager, some decisions were going on, and really watching his evolution over the last 6-9 months to turn in is quite impressive from a mindset, from a thought process. How I learned by giving him guardrails and actually widening out versus what I was being told, keep it shorter, is actually where he has responded a lot better, and I'm very proud of him. I think that's been the greatest accomplishment of 25, because at the end of the day, love what I do, love work. I love to go at it, love to compete, love to win. To John's point, no better winning than when you see one of your kids winning and really going in the next stride, especially what he informed me of, what these Gen Z boys have gone through. And part of the reason I'm wearing this shirt, and part of the reason I'm bringing attention, is because he enlightened me on a lot of things that I didn't know that were going out there, but it was very obvious. So really his growth, pretty impressive for a kid that's in 10th grade and 16 at this point.
Is the Make Men Great is it a association or a community or a social media thing, or is it just...
No, I got the t-shirt. I can send you. I got plenty of them in the box right here, except for they're all, I don't have any double
you
X's.
can't send me shit and I'm not going to send you something.
Yeah, I can send all you guys.
We can get into a value.
It's just, I think it's just really, I have the hat too. This one I ordered online. I just saw that something's got to get in wear. It's out of control. The rise of some of these challenges are because men haven't been allowed to be men. Yet when tough situations, men have to show up. And I think the demasculation of men over the last 30 years has not led to anything great. I'm not going to sit there and tell you there hasn't been toxic behavior. However, I'm going to bring up another controversial issue. Plenty of toxic females too. I love how it's just toxic masculinity. I love how this has become a one-sided when it's BS, when what a lot of people forget is a lot of these ladies have sons too. So it's really underneath their own roof. It's not just who they dated or if they had a bad divorce. It's also their own kids. And guess what? This is going to affect if they have grandkids, if they only had daughters, but then they have sons. So we're all in this one together to get everybody. And I think that there needs to something really existentially change around all that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think this will get me in trouble. Let's syndicate this one. I mean, I don't think it's toxic masculinity. I think it's just masculinity that has been demonized. But then when the female tries to be masculine, that's when it becomes toxic, because they're doing it wrong and it's not real. Like, men are simple. We just do the same shit. We think about, we're not complex. It's like,
Nope.
It's like work out, eat, fuck, sleep, work out, eat,
Hang out with
fuck, sleep.
friends.
Like,
ironically,
it's
there's
not
a great
that
book.
complicated.
There's a great book around it written by she's a brilliant neuropsychiatrist. She jokes about it. So she wrote The Female Brain and the Male Brain, and jokes that the male brain that she wrote is half the size. True story.
We're easy.
Huh?
We're easy.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. Guys are, well, we weren't supposed to be complex. Our job is to be a warrior. Our job is to provide, protect. Now, here's the irony. You bring up a great point, Mike, that I want to say is, the irony is they want to attack masculinity. However, men are still judged about how well they do in life and support the person. So the irony is you can't have your cake and eat it too. What do you want? Feminine guys to not protect and promote, but still make the money and provide you with everything else? There's a little bit of hypocrisy is all I'll say there.
Again, he would be a great one for Carl. Carl's looking for content and he wants to promote strong men on the social platforms. These guys would be great.
Hey, Brett. Yes. Brett, what are you most proud of for 2025?
It's an interesting conversation that I'm listening to. Probably I would say catching my breath in a sense. It's very interesting that you guys are having this conversation, and I just met all of you except for Jay. Kind of weathered the storms of business and personal over the years. And up until 2023, I started having some goofy thoughts. Just because I wasn't able to weather the storms quite like I used to be able to. It's very interesting. And I got backed into a corner financially, right? And I was always the face of, right? I'm the face of this family. And I'm known for that. I'm known for putting the kids on my shoulders. And I'm known, like that's what people know me for. They know me for, the family man who also travels, who also does business, who's does all the athletic stuff and all this stuff. And I ran into a situation that I thought I was going to be able to get myself out of. And it just kept getting worse and worse. And I'm like, I know it will always work out, right? I know it's going to turn around. Things always work out. If it's going to be, it's going to be up to me, and I'm going to figure this out. And I did. I did in 2025 because I felt like if I did not, it really wasn't going to go in a good direction. And so I was able to weather that storm, get rid of those goofy thoughts, like Eddie's shirt says, and what you guys are talking about. I also am about to cross that threshold in life where I'll be turning age 50 here in February.
Wow.
And I have an honest belief that
class
I got another
of 94.
50.
We're both class of 94.
Yep. And I was 95. Middle school really liked me enough to keep me there like one extra time. So, but yeah.
Question, Brett, is your dad still alive?
My biological, no. My stepdad, yes.
Okay, and then that's who you consider your dad?
My stepfather, yes.
So you're having an epiphany that's good that most men don't have till their dad dies. Whoever their dad is, whoever initiated them from a boy to a man, because only a man can do that. The good thing is you're having that before he died. And that's because what happens is when your dad dies, the only guy that ever wanted you to be better dies too. And that's when men realize that nobody's here to save them and they got to do it for themselves. And I unfortunately learned that at 31 years of age. And my dad was my idol. So I'm glad you're getting to do that now, because it's a tough reality, man. Anybody that still has their dads, cherish them, but it's a whole different world. That's the only man that ever wanted you to be better than him. That's it.
It also sounds like, too, though, that identity of having the reputation of always supporting everybody, making things work out, like just in your world, like you're the guy, and the identity of that being at risk and being taken away through, a circumstance, then going, okay, so then what, then who do I become? And also as you're getting older, which I can say that because we're all the same age, as you're getting older, you're like, do I even have the energy to become that guy again if I have to go through that process? It's just like, it's a very contemplating, or it's a weird place to be. I think I can kind of understand that. I mean, we've all been through all kinds of shit, I'm sure, but if you don't have a great, tight, small group, and sometimes it's just even one solid person, to call. I mean, like even if it's just an argument with the wife or whatever, if you just don't have that one, I just call Jay. I just say, Jay, shitty day. Jay's so positive and he builds, he just fills my tank up.
You call Jay for that?
Only because I know.
I always said I would make this joke if all of us got together. That no, somehow at the end of it, no matter what, it was all your fault. Correct?
Oh, it's always mine. Yeah.
No, I'm joking about the response. Yeah. That's always one of the jokes. One time I said, Jay, I swear to God, a bomb could go off, and somehow you would tell me how I didn't notify somebody there was a bomb, even if I didn't know it. So that's always the running joke. I had to say that.
Yeah. No, Jay's just such a big encourager.
Yeah,
if you don't have a guy like Jay, it's tough.
What's interesting, Mike, is that if you don't have a guy like Jay, or maybe you have one or two people that you can call, you don't call, or at least I wouldn't call. Why? Because I felt like they were going to see through, even though I did make one call, I felt like everybody was going to see through, oh my God, there's a problem. Like there's a problem. And I've almost prided myself on giving this illusion, like whenever there is a problem solved. I'll take care of it. I got it. And so I did make that one call. His name was Joe. And it was a weekday at about 8:30 in the morning on a weekday. And I woke up. So I woke up feeling a certain type of way, and I made a call. And I'm glad I did, right? Because it wasn't like that one phone call changed everything, but it just felt so good to get it off my chest that I could tell somebody that I trusted, that knew me for me, kind of what I was thinking and feeling and going through. And he didn't give me some recipe for success. He didn't tell me anything that morning that made me completely do a total mindset shift, but it was enough to just be able to talk about it.
Yeah, when you're king lion and somebody smells weakness, many times they want your spot. That's why you also are very reluctant to make a call or to even let somebody smell it on you, but it continues to be, it doesn't happen quickly. It's over a long period of time. And it's, I mean, like I said, it's just, you got to have a J.
Yeah.
And sometimes too, it's good to have, it's good to put yourself inside a community. This is what I've learned by leading a community, which negates ever getting to a point like that. And it's not always about monetary success. When they say that iron sharpens iron, men by default are always gauging how they're doing with other men. I mean, they just, and not that it's a comparison, but it's a way to know, can I take a breath? Am I winning? You just are always looking around to see, am I being my best? Actually, that's one of the things that almost everybody said today was, I want to be my best. I want to bring more value. I want to refine, like everybody's looking to concentrate and sometimes even, a lot of times simplify. But if you're in a community and you're able to see Jim is killing it like this, I can learn something from him. You feel like you're actually sharpening and growing without having to go find it, right? You get yourself in a concentration pool once a quarter or, whatever the cadence is. And then it's a sponge effect. It's rubbing off on you. You're soaking it up. And dudes don't need a whole lot. I can tell you right now, my wife says, damn, that looks good on you. I'm good for like a month and a half, 2 months. I mean, she doesn't even have to talk to me again for 2 months. I mean, it's just like, but she also is, she knows, like, I'm pretty confident. And does he even need to hear it? And sometimes they're slow to do it because they think you already think that anyway. And what they don't realize is how valuable some of that stuff is, especially when it's your wife. Like when you have a great relationship and you're not getting it, in the sense of that support or encouragement or acknowledgement, sometimes that wears on you worse than some dude or basically everybody else saying something negative. You know, like I said, guys just don't need a whole lot. And if you're really putting yourself in environments where it's the sponge effect and it's not intentional, because there's also a psyche thing where you feel like if you're doing it intentionally, then do I need it? And if you're doing it by environment and putting yourself in a container where, like, I can tell you this, if John and I were hanging out, like, he'd feel better, I'd feel better, and it's a charge. We're making each other better because we're sharing perspective and experience, and that's what makes guys engine run, right? It's a wild thing that I watch where some of my guys actually join the board of advisors just because they really can't find the relationships that understand being at that level with that amount of stress on them and responsibility, and like the reputation of winning can constantly, even when they're losing, they're winning because they're solving the problem. Like, their neighbor who is a doctor just doesn't fucking get it. Like, they show up, clock in, and do their thing, and it's like, we saved the world that day. In our world, we're just as a male entrepreneur, we're just different.
Very few people understand you. But I will say this, when you're talking about comparison, I have found the people that have done better than me in my own space as the most encouraging, the most supportive.
Oh, totally. Totally.
The people that have accomplished less tell you everything you've done wrong. The people that have accomplished more, and in some cases, ginormous more, are your biggest fans and supporters. They keep it up, kid. Don't worry about it. Like,
totally.
Hey, man, that's the irony behind it. The irony behind that is that I found those that have done better than you, if you measure it for whatever, are not the people that come down on you. Actually, the ones that really will do everything they can to help you.
100%. Because they know what you're going through. They know the pain. That's why they're putting gas in your tank.
They respect the courage you had, unlike others.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone not shared what they're proud of?
Oh. I do got to leave. I got a 4:00 meeting with my exec team. I do know that.
So number one, I'm going to connect all you on email right now. Number two, if you're listening to this podcast, thank you. And share this with a brother, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 7 of them. Maybe call them, give them a call. If you're listening to this and you think one of the people close to you is, you're waiting for them to call you back, call them. I'm not going to call them until they call me back. Till they call me, call them. That's my ask for the listeners.
There's probably somebody you need to check on. That's one thing. One of my best guys, dude, calls me all the time. He's like, I know what you do and I know what you support. Wow. How are you doing? Sometimes we should also be calling, like Brett. There's probably somebody in your world that proactively you would reach out to support that. And maybe that's not all the time, but I can tell you what, it's a really good thing for you to be able to be in the position to do that as well on the opposite end.
Made those calls last evening, as a matter of fact.
Hey, let's go make some men great again.
Yeah. By the way, give me all your shirt sizes. I'll send them out to you.
Love it.
Love it. It's great.
Please, if you're listening to this, leave us a review on the Culture Matters podcast. It's how we can get great people like all of you. Thank you, Eddy, Brett, Darwin, John, Mike.
Connect with me if any of you guys need some governmental contracts too.
let's let Eddie use the restroom because that's an important meeting. And um, and we will see you next time on the Culture Matters podcast. Appreciate you guys.